supporter of this troop. He's been at every Eagle Court of Honor I've had the pleasure of being at, and I hate to say it, that's a lot of them. His name is Honorable Michael Kaplowitz. We're proud to have a neighbor with us. We have the Honorable Judge Salvatore Lagone, and he's a another longtime supporter of our troop is Mr. Vishnu Patel. He's a Yorktown councilman. And Mr. Jeff Main, is he in our audience? I don't see him. Mr. Main was the coordinator for the Westchester County coordinator for the volunteer programs, which was very important in the project which Will had the pleasure of doing. At this moment. Okay, Mr. Jeff May?
He's going to be in the door in a second.
Okay, that's fine. He'll be with us. Okay. All right. Will Scoutmaster Philip Petruso please introduce our Eagle candidate? That's you.
This takes me totally by surprise. Told you. I don't know where to begin. Well, I've known Will for a long time. As his mother said a couple weeks ago, I've known him since before he had hair, armpit hair. And also before I had the Wolverine. Oh, yeah. Yeah, everybody remember that? Yeah. So, yeah, Will, we know Will. I guess everything was by he remembered his mom, remembered his grandmother today, remembered to bring them. Funny story about Will. We were at camp one day, and I was the leader in charge. And scouts came up to me and said, Mr. Petruso, Will lost his backpack. So I said, okay, go retrace your steps, see if you can find his backpack. So they came up to me and said, oh, we found his backpack, but he lost his glasses. All right, go retrace your steps and try to find his glasses. They came back and they said, oh, Mr. Petruso, we found the glasses, but now he lost his wallet. And that's a true story.
That was a long time.
That was a long time. Yeah, we had some fun at camp. And then there was another year. We got home from camp, and Mom called and said, Mr. Petruso, where's Will's pack and all his clothes? I said, well, he should have them. She said, well, he doesn't. I said, well, why don't you call the person who drove him home? Maybe they just left it in the car. She said, I called and they don't have it. And I said, let me call the rest of the people that drove home from camp. Maybe they have it. And they didn't have it. So I called up camp, and camp didn't have it. And finally found out that his stuff was over Niagara Falls. So now we got to find out how we're going to get all his clothes home. And Mom kept calling me every day. Yeah.
Maybe once a week.
That's a little bit more than that. How are we getting his clothes home? How are we getting his clothes home? Did we get his clothes home? Did we find out? What's going on? And I told Mrs. Trusso, I said, get your stuff ready. I think we're going to Niagara Falls. Second honeymoon. So we finally got it arranged that the people that had his stuff had taken the trip down to Rye, I think it was. And they met him down there and got his stuff back. But that was typical Will. It was good. We had a lot of good times. But the last couple of years, Will grew into his own and became a really good leader of the troop. Well respected by the boys and us leaders. And we knew that we can count on Will when we asked him to do something with the boys and carry out a task. We knew that we can count on him to get it done, and luckily he never lost a scout. No, not for very long anyhow. And so, yeah, Will was very good. He came along. And And now that he's out, going to be an Eagle, and he's out of the troop, he's turned the reins over to some other scouts, and they've learned from his examples how to be leaders, and they are growing into fine leaders themselves from the teachings of Will himself. And I'd like to thank Will for being with us. It's great times, and well run. Thank you.
Those of you who know me, I tend to put in my 2 cents, actually probably $20 bill worth of information. One thing I want to say about Will is a couple things. First of all, is I remember when he was small, short. He's not short anymore, which is good. I can look him in the eye, which is, I like when they're older and I can look them in their eye. But the thing that most impresses me about Will, proudest moment I can say about Will, I have been a camp counselor. Actually, I've been the Band-Aid doctor for a scout camp in Western New York, Camp Gordon, which our troop goes to every year. Been doing that for 4 years. Every week we assess the campers at the camp, and we try to find that one scout in camp who represents the ideals of scouting, leadership, mentorship, and just overall scout skills. And it's an interesting ceremony, an interesting meeting we have every Friday morning or Friday afternoon after lunch, and we sit down and we choose and select the individuals at camp that we think are potential honor scouts. It's a vote that's taken in confidence. We put our heads down, nobody knows. The fourth week of camp of this last year, William was named honor camper for Camp Gordon. There have been honor campers at Camp Gordon since 1923 to track it all the way back. So his name now sits on a plaque on the wall in the dining hall there, and will be on a plaque display for many, 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 many years to come. So I congratulate you on that as well. We're not scheduled here because Senator Paul has some engagements he has to get to, so I'm going to have him make his presentation now. So would you please? Sure.
Okay, how's Elizabeth related, sister?
She's my cousin.
Elizabeth, you took my heart away. That was just absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much. Well, I do have a few events, but I just thought it critically important and felt it critically important to come on your very special day. And, you know, I just, boy, this is a loud microphone, huh?
Yeah.
You can hear me here? It's like the noise from above, right? Amen. Hallelujah. I'm ready to roll. Right, Jim? You know, a couple days ago, I was up in Albany, the land of the common sense forgot. And we were sitting in session. We had something called West Point Day. And 10 years ago, I was at the Air Force Academy, graduated in 2001. I just had my 10-year reunion. And whenever I get a chance to come to the ceremonies, Eagle Scout ceremonies, I always do as long as my schedule allows, because it always reminds me of my pinning on ceremony with my mom and dad when I became a commissioned officer. And I just want you to know from the bottom of my heart that I'm here for you, and that this is a long haul. This is the greatest country that the world has ever known, and it will continue to be the greatest country that the world has ever known, as long as we have young men and women, but in this instance, a young man like you, that will continue to understand that being American isn't only about taking $1 and turning it to $2. In fact, that's not what it's about at all. But it is inherently about service to others. And you have really set a mark upon yourself today. Today is about you, but it's also about your family. And I congratulate both of you, because if we had men, women, and parents like you all throughout New York State, there would be no need for prisons, and there would be very limited need for New York State government. And I like that a whole lot. And to all the leaders, and to your fellow scouts, and the parents who are here, this is a journey that got you here today. But it also comes with an enormous responsibility. And just know, I know that as your parents are sitting, I can see the pride in their eyes, just like I saw the pride in my parents' eyes the day I graduated from the Air Force Academy. Look into their eyes today, and always make sure that pride